Hi, good evening, everyone. We are live, and in this evening, we have 3 crypto experts. I mean, if you're here with us live, you can hear us. Please type where you're from, say hi, and also ask any questions you have on cryptocurrency space or anything to do with blockchain and crypto. So, this is Sean here, and I am asked to be the host of this particular event from by OIO and CryptoLearn SG. And together with me, right, we have Number one, Rudy Lim, the CEO of OIO, the one and only like blockchain company listed on the SGX. So that's Rudy for you. Rudy, can you say something motivational just to start the evening?
Wow, thanks for having me, man. Thanks, everyone. This is
Thanks for
Mr.
having
Rudy
you.
from OIO.
I mean, this is your event, of course, I must have you lah. In fact, thanks for having me lah. So I'm the guy who is the least how to say least season in crypto, so they are here to roast me. But let's see what happens. So next we have our CryptoLearn SG founder, Leslie. And Leslie is also known as the Crypto Turtle. Okay,
Hi,
come tell us why Crypto Turtle?
Why Crypto Turtle? Okay, there's actually a
Turtle
few
moves so
reasons.
slow. Yeah. So your investment also like Turtle, is it?
Yeah, it's true, but eventually the turtle won, right? Right. So okay, there's actually two reasons why I name myself Crypto Turtle. The number one reason actually is very simple. It's a childhood thing, like childhood dream, because I like Ninja Turtle a lot. Yeah. So that's number one. So the other one is actually this is Richard Dennis, if I didn't remember the name wrongly. So he invented this turtle trading. Yeah. So the concept of turtle trading and the strategy that I use and teach to my students are actually quite similar. Yeah. So I thought it's quite apt. Yeah. So furthermore, actually, why he named it turtle trading, I don't know if everyone know, is because he went to a turtle farm in Singapore. Yeah, right. And I'm a Singaporean, so I thought, hey, it's so close to home and all that. So I thought, yeah, okay, that Crypto Turtle it is.
It was a very inspiring story because for turtle traders, right, they actually prove a concept that people can actually be trained to make money from investing. So I mean, in that day, the context was actually trading in commodities, trading in like T-bonds. Right now, we have a lot of other instruments, and we will be exploring whether crypto is the new goal. And last but not least, right, in fact, the most I would say is the person with the most title. We have our Vanessa Tiara Tay, who is our Tiara investor. By the way, if you all don't know who she is, right, it means that you guys are boomers now. You all don't know like this hot and rising star. She's one of the main cast of Argus Go Army, and she's also Miss Singapore Chinatown International. Did I say that correctly?
Chinese International is actually the
Chinese International. Yeah. Oh, okay. So why Tiara? Why so show off your name?
No, it's not show off. Tiara is actually my middle name. So funny story is when my mom was giving birth to me, she wanted a first letter that rhymes with my surname. So my surname is Tay. So that's how Tiara came about. Yeah.
It's a real name. It's not like your nickname.
No, it's not. Yeah, but also another funny story is 18 years later, I won the title of a pageant. So they were saying that 我是注定要有 Tiara in my name.
Wow, so the name really matters. By the way, it's a real name. So Vanessa Tiara Tay. Wow, your mom really got foresight. Why my mom never call me like Sean Opa Seah? Then now I can be like some hot stuff in Asia already. Yeah. So we want to actually welcome all these investors here. By the way, there are also quite a number of comments here. Any point in time, any of the experts here, you want to actually answer any of the questions, right? Please do so as well. So my name is Sean. I'm a newbie here regarding crypto investing. Out of these 4, I'm the so-called the least experienced. So we want to start our whole entire session, right, by asking this particular question. Is crypto the new goal? Now, by the way, in case you all didn't know, Rudy was actually featured in the news having this particular article. So this article is by The Peak, and I'm not sure whether I can share my screen. Then you can see his handsome face. Wait a minute. Okay. Let me just shift my screen over to show you guys this very hot news now of this hot guy. Can you all see? Okay. Are you able to see? Oh, I think you can see that, right? So Rudy thinks crypto could be the new goal. And then he actually talked about I like this particular story, right? Where he mentioned this particular mentor of his who headed a bank in Myanmar advised his staff to buy physical gold to protect against inflation. And when the military seized the power in 2021, correct, the local currency there actually depreciated, and the price of gold went very, very high. That's where people who listen to them got a lot of money. And they are very rich right now. So Rudy, you think that crypto could be the new gold? Tell us a little bit more.
Yeah, I mean the same also happened, right? Like with Ukraine, and the war going on there, the currency actually depreciated a lot. So they actually went on Twitter and asked for help, right? And guess what? $22 million worth of Bitcoin actually appeared. And so they can actually use the coin to buy, like weapons, food, shelter, medical aid, so on and so forth, right? And because Bitcoin is so widely accepted, right? They can still use that currency versus their own, currencies, right? So, I mean, in a sense, I think crypto has its value. It's no longer from the perspective of just speculation. I think it has done a lot more good in the current context.
Well, what about the rest? Do you think this particular statement, crypto is the new gold? What are your reactions when you hear that?
I think for me personally, I would kind of agree to it because, like, I actually read on the news. There's a Ukraine politician wife who actually got caught trying to bring fiat money currency through the borders, Ukraine borders, and like the sum she brought was like USD 28 million and euros 1.3 million. So honestly, if it was crypto, you just need a thumb drive size thing. Oh, hi, I'm a fan of Vanessa. Thank you for watching. So back to my story. If she were to bring a thumb drive size hard wallet, she probably won't get caught. So that's one thing that I do strongly believe.
Sorry,
that
what was the news again? What was the news again? She got caught because of what?
She was bringing like luggage of cash, like hard cash, fiat through the borders. Yeah, and she got caught.
This one a bit cuckoo lah. This one actually all the websites say cannot bring already. This one is common sense. Okay. So she bring actually USB won't get caught. True.
Yeah, through the borders, and she got caught and she was like begging them not to take the money away. But it's like, what? But I mean, it makes sense because you see, if she were to bring gold bars, it's also gonna be the same thing. But for crypto, I mean, you can access it everywhere and anywhere.
She can bring gold teeth lah. Put inside her like cosmetics and things like that. Then people cannot catch already ma. Then she wear gold shirt
punch her teeth They will punch her teeth out later.
Wow, this one Aga Ghost Army. After Go Army, you're a bit violent. So a lot of people asking quite a number of questions about fluctuation, about valuation. Excellent question. And also like where to buy crypto. Do we have a top 5, top 10 alternative coins to invest in? I think these are questions that we will be answering. And our founder of Crypto SG Learn. Okay, so please enlighten us a bit about what you think about crypto being the new gold. Let's answer this portion first, okay?
Sure. Okay. By the way, it's Crypto Learn SG, not Crypto SG Learn.
I purposely say wrongly so that you can repeat it a few times, then people remember. Sometimes I always say the same thing. I should say IOI, I shouldn't say OIO, right? So
that's very clever. Right. Okay. So in my opinion, right, crypto being a new gold, rather I would say, rather than giving my opinion, but I would say why actually people said that, there's article coming out, and Rudy also mentioned that, okay, because if you look at gold and Bitcoin, right, the first cryptocurrency that we have, in the world, right, so actually some similarity, okay. So firstly, of course, the scarcity, okay, scarcity. So it's actually meant to be, but Bitcoin, right, actually was meant to be a native currency. It was meant to be used like a fiat. Okay, by the way, what is fiat? Fiat is our normal paper currency that we are familiar with. The US dollar, the Sing dollar, the Malaysian ringgit, and all that. So it was meant to be a payment system. Okay, so but as time goes by, people actually start to recognize it more like a store of value rather than a native currency because of the scarcity. Okay, but if we think about it, right, actually the fiat, right, was meant to be also a store of value. Do you think
the fiat is also meant to be a store of value. Okay.
Yes,
You're going to the history of money already, right? Before they start barter trade. Hey, you want my chicken or not? I give you some apples.
That is not entirely wrong also. But saying it was meant to be, but because of inflation and printing, then it cannot be a very good store of value. So people turn to gold, right? And
Right.
actually gold, when it first started trading, it also, the volatility is actually really high also.
Yeah.
In fact, it's like 20-30% sometimes in a day. So it's pretty much quite similar to what Bitcoin is in the first 10-15 years, 10 to maybe now it's maybe 13 years or so.
Yeah.
So I think that is where people see the similarity and start to say that, Bitcoin or crypto is a digital gold. So
It's a
that's,
digital gold, right? So,
Yeah.
I mean, I also share my own opinion, because when Bitcoin like first become popular, probably about, okay, it has a long history lah. But I mean, I first heard of it like probably a decade ago lah, around there, when Vanessa is still super small little ugger. Then that time, right, I remember people tell me, wow, this Bitcoin is gonna be the next big thing. I mean, now we on hindsight we should have listened more and things like that. But no problem. I guess sometimes, in my opinion, as an investor, right, it is good to miss out on opportunities that you yourself you're unsure of. Because if let's say you go into opportunities that you're not sure and you win based on luck and not based on investment skills, right, then you may go into a certain spiral where you start to gamble. So I don't really regret it. I did my own homework. So that was my first encounter with Bitcoin. So let me share with you. I cannot remember the specific year, but I think it's about 5 to 6 years ago when people tell me about Bitcoin and they tell me that it's going to be the new currency. People are going to use it. The adoption rate is going to be very high. And therefore, if you buy it now, the value will go up. That's what I heard at that point in time. So what I personally did, right, I went onto the websites and I see what can I buy a Bitcoin. Okay, I literally want to see, hey, this particular so-called Bitcoin, right, can really buy one or not. So this is my story. Yeah. I went to this particular website. I cannot even remember the website, but they were selling watches. And at that point in time, I wanted to just buy a watch because my watch, the Casio one, $13 one spoiled already. So I went on the website. I saw this watch. They put down there Singapore dollars is like 100 plus, and then it is 0. Don't know how many Bitcoins at that point in time. So I said, okay, let me try and see whether I can use Bitcoin to buy the watch. So I opened up a Bitcoin wallet. I went to actually get approval. Last time is very long to approve one. Now you just use MetaMask. I think few minutes approve already. Last time it took a few days to approve, one whole week to approve. And then after that, I got to convert to Bitcoin, and I converted just about very little, about $100, just enough to buy the watch. Then when I go inside the website to buy the watch, suddenly I cannot afford the watch because of the Bitcoin fluctuation. The watch now because they actually price it based on Bitcoin. When they convert to me, it's $100. When I go back there, now become $150. So I became a little bit like a shock. Then I say, hey, this currency doesn't work. What? Imagine I want to buy 1 million, then the auntie tell me it's like like $2. Then I want to give her Bitcoin at time. I turn around, take my wallet out, then she say, hey, sorry, $3 already. No, $3.50. So if it keep fluctuating, it cannot be a stable currency. So that was my first, I would say, encounter with Bitcoin. So I didn't have a very good experience. Plus, last time, about 5 to 7 years ago, if you guys remember, to verify a transaction, it takes up to almost nearly 1 hour. I don't know whether you remember that time. So that was my first encounter. Maybe I just want to also ask the experts here, right? What was your first encounter and how do you all get into this space? And then now you all became expert. For me, my first encounter wasn't good, so I never really jumped a lot into Bitcoins. Okay, on hindsight, I quite silly. So all right, who want to actually start first? Okay, now Vanessa, you got a lot of fans, so we will keep you last. You know why? Because after you talk, people will leave already. So we don't let you talk first.
Wow. But I just want to say thank you all for coming in. Please invite more people to come in to understand, because right now we have all the experts with us. So it's the best time to ask all your questions, okay?
Oh yeah. So maybe before I get let's say Rudy to share his his story, right? Maybe let's answer 1 or 2 questions first. Otherwise they think we ignore them, correct? So
yes.
Okay. Let me see. How do we determine the intrinsic value of a crypto? Well, this is a very interesting question by Maverick. Okay, so any of you guys, you all have an opinion on this? How do you know this crypto? Is it a good time to buy? Is it of good value? How do you actually assess that? Or how do you like? You all very stunned. Am I?
No. Actually, I'm trying to find a comment to put it up.
It's quite on top. Yeah. How to determine the intrinsic value of a crypto?
So essentially, maybe I go first if you don't mind.
Sure.
So essentially, of course, when we talk about the equity space, right, the stock and share, when we want to calculate the intrinsic value, of course, we take many things, including looking at the balance sheet, the earnings per share and things,
Yes.
and many things like that. Okay, and then after we do some calculation, there's actually a mathematical formula, then blah, 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 that's the intrinsic value, right? Of course, there are many ways to calculate, also depending on the type of stock. Okay, so of course, crypto, you don't have a balance sheet. They are not listed, so they don't have a balance sheet.
Yeah, it's not
So
balanced.
one way but we call this fundamental analysis, right? Fundamental analysis. So essentially, I would say there's also a few ways. Okay, of course, there are what we call on-chain analysis, which is very similar to what fundamental analysis is. Okay, so basically, you actually study the information and the data that's stored on the chain, on the blockchain itself. Okay, yeah, that's one way. Okay, but that is a little bit deeper. So, but let me tell the second way. Second way is actually looking at the use case itself, right? So let's assuming that Bitcoin, whether you believe it or not, to be a payment kind of currency, put that aside. Let's assuming that we want it to be a payment kind of use case, right, for Bitcoin. And then we look at the traditional. What I can do is we look at the traditional kind of payment system. For example, you look at Visa or MasterCard, and then you compare the market cap for both traditional. And then we aim, let's say that maybe Bitcoin can take over 10% of the market so-called share. Okay, how much will that growth be? So we can roughly estimate, that could be the intrinsic value of Bitcoin per se. Yeah. So
okay. So I try to paraphrase based on my primary school level of Bitcoin understanding. So you're saying that, example, if we want to assess Bitcoin's value, we compare it to another, I would say, benchmark. And the benchmark is, because Bitcoin is meant to be a payment system, so we compare it to another established payment system, example Visa. So let me just check Visa since I mean, we want it to be as real as possible, correct? Yeah. So Visa's
or maybe we should check gold right now because this
gold
of a value.
Oh yeah.
Visa is fine. Let's see. Let's look at this.
But gold, does gold have a market cap? I'm not too sure. That one. Okay, so
it has. Yeah.
Is it? Okay. So I didn't know that. Have or not, Rudy? Later we can ask Rudy.
7 trillion of gold in circulation. 7 trillion worth of gold in circulation.
7 trillion worth of gold in circulation.
Yeah.
Not wrong. It's 2.6, I think, or 2.8.
2.6. Okay, I do have a certain screen here talking about Visa. So maybe I just get Leslie to help me share the screen. So in your opinion, example Visa here, the market cap is 400 over billion. And then based on our own estimation, we feel that the Bitcoin as a whole system is, let's say, 10% worth of a Visa. I mean, this is based on your example. Like that Bitcoin overvalue already, I think. So if let's say, then it will be 45 billion. So all the Bitcoins add up together will be 45 billion. That's where you can actually assess the value of the Bitcoin. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, okay. But that's just an example. That's just an example. Of course, right now, Bitcoin is really 700, I think. Yeah.
Okay, so this is gold. Gold is 12 trillion. So if let's say they are the new gold, if Bitcoin, but we say crypto, not Bitcoin, right? But if crypto is, let's say, 10% of the new gold, then it will be 1.2 trillion. Well, how many zeros is there? This one, my mathematics teacher only teach me until about 1,000, then I don't know. This one you must go and calculate. Okay, but this is how we assess a certain value. So I think interesting, as a certain benchmark. What about Rudy? How do you actually determine a value of a cryptocurrency?
So I think probably I just look from a very different angle, and I hope this will better fit the audience. So I think maybe look at it from a type perspective rather than just from the traditional macroeconomics perspective. How money and how things are being invested in, right? The way it's being evaluated, right?
Right.
Perhaps try to look at it from tech perspective. Tech perspective, right? The most important thing, right, is application. How big is your idea? How many people need to use this thing? How valuable is this thing? Yeah. So I think look from that perspective. So probably from I was dabbling a bit in venture capital, right? So that venture capital, number one, right, is how big is your idea, right? Number two, right, who developed the tech? Are you developing this whole Bitcoin, this whole blockchain solution, right? And outsource it to someone in Vietnam. Then what if this group of people that develop for you run away? Correct. So it's a real problem in tech development world. Who developed your tech? right? So do you have the in-house capabilities? So are you the former founder of Ethereum? Say, for Polkadot, right? So
Yeah.
Vitalik is still around, but then this other guy came out and became the so-called Ethereum killer, right? Developing Polkadot. So of course, legit lah, because this guy actually really know what he's doing and can code it lah, right? And the third thing is financials lah. So how well funded, what's your market cap? And these are a good reflection of adoption. Yeah. So these are some of the consideration, guys, when you're looking
So
at
this is like a checklist, right? So I didn't take notes. I hope someone took notes for me. So Rudy was giving us some checklist. You got take notes now, Vanessa?
I got. Sorry.
Okay, I better be nice to you. You got a lot of fans, so I scared of you. So so inside, no lah, must write down lah, right? So maybe later, I do hope that you guys are taking notes, talking about the founder, talking about the technology, talking about people, the development team, talking about the idea, how big the idea is. I don't know how to measure how big the idea is. So I mean, all these are possible checklists. Then in the end, assuming that all these you have confidence in, how do you know that is it overvalued or undervalued? Well, hey, I also got fan. Okay, so thanks I'm Sean Opa Seah. Okay, then okay. So Rudy, so how do you actually know whether this crypto is it undervalued, overvalued? How do you evaluate it? Whether is it a good time to buy? I think it's an important question, correct? Because all the audiences, we are here. Besides looking at pretty faces and Hamson face, 1% out of 3. So you must guess which one. And so like we want to know how to value.
I don't know, to be very honest with you, there is not going to be a very clear valuation metrics for cryptocurrencies. Sure. It's really about getting a logical opinion, right, on the value proposition itself. So if it says what it does, right, the question is, does it do what it says it does? You see, and this can be observed from a few angles, right? Number one is like your market cap. So adoption has to be there, right? Let's say you boast, you market so well about this protocol that you have just launched, but then nobody is using it, right? So like, for example, like Ethereum, that's being quoted here in the audience was, why is there a demand for Ether? It's because of smart contract, right? Because it's required for the gas fees, right? So when a lot of people are using it, to solve different kind of things, then obviously you need to pay gas fees. And when you have a high demand for gas fees, right, of course it forces the gas fees or the Ether prices to go up, you see. So that is a logical way of saying, okay, then the value, right, has a real intrinsic force behind, right, pushing the price to go up, you see, because of pure adoption, pure usage of the protocol. Yeah.
So again, using my primary school level to try to understand. Please let me know whether I say this correctly. Now, because Rudy is a VC, so he's very used to actually assessing investments that has huge potential. So probably like based on assessment of whether this particular coin or cryptocurrency is of good value. When we talk about intrinsic value, right, there is a certain romantic idea about intrinsic value, where a particular stock, a particular investment, there's a specific correct value to give. But most of the time, when you invest after a while, you know that there isn't, it's not so clear one. There's not like this particular stock is worth 11.37 cents. It doesn't work this way. It's whether this stock is undervalued based on the potential of it. So that's where I think that's what you mean, correct? I hope I'm not using another jargon to explain your jargon. Okay, but and by the way, the rest feel free to join. And when we talk about, let's say, Ethereum, I don't know whether you guys, again, using my own understanding, Ethereum, Luna, so Luna, and quite a number of this blockchain technology, right, is, if I'm not wrong, is something like an iOS, like an operating system, like iOS or like Android. These are operating systems that people can build on. But do you know that besides Android and iOS, right, there are other operating systems? Example, there's a Linux, there's also a Lineage OS, there's a lot that you never hear before one. And every of them want to become the next Android or the next iOS. But Ethereum is the biggest right now. Now, so what people can do is, right, so on Ethereum, people can build things like they build things like OpenSea, they build a platform. And then on OpenSea, the market, they can build other things. So like your iOS, they can build like Play Store. Is it correct? No. Android, they build Play Store. Play Store is a platform to actually build other things. So it is how much adoption, how much people are using. So if there's a lot more potential for people to use, then people need Ether, the coin of Ethereum, to buy the things. Correct, right? So far, any things to please add on also. So Actually, you talk so much. Tell us which one you think got potential, right? Or in the end, yeah, towards the end, you want to know these experts, where do they think it got potential? If you want to know, please click on the like button, please click share, and then if there's enough share, I'll tell you guys. Then I'll tell you what I think also. But you shouldn't listen to me because obviously I'm the noob.
So got a Facebook user use, yes, utility, super.
The utility, the use.
That's a very good word. Yeah, utility.
Utility is not your utility bills, but basically how much people use it. The usage of it. Okay, because frankly, when I first utility, I don't know. I consider myself at least average. So I also don't don't understand a lot of these words. Okay. How about Vanessa? How do you assess a coin, whether it has a value or not? Or anything to add other than what Leslie and Rudy has mentioned?
Okay, so for me, right, actually, if you want to buy like smaller cap coins, all I would say that the smaller cap coins are actually tagged to Bitcoin and Ethereum. So when Bitcoin and Ethereum actually starts dropping, it may be a good period to look into your smaller caps. But you also have to bear in mind when Bitcoin and Ethereum drop, it also may mean that it is altcoin season. So when it's altcoin season, the coins fly by very fast. Like it goes up really fast.
Okay. So anybody able to translate this to English? Okay. I don't. Sorry. If I don't understand, I just say. Sorry. I'm the dumb ass here lah. So if the audience understand, you all can just say next. Then I know that I'm the only one who don't understand. So you are saying that when we talk about small cap coins are the newer ones or those that haven't grown into very big, ones. Right? So the newer coins, is there any particular examples that you all have right now, or any website we can go and take a look at? Which website you all use, by the way? Anyone?
Usually, I think one of the most reputable one, right, is actually this coinmarketcap.com. Yeah.
CoinMarketCap.
Yeah, CoinMarketCap, and then the other one is CoinGecko.com. It's actually by Malaysian. So if you are from Malaysia, you should be proud of it. Yeah. So because the whole world is literally using it. Yeah. So so these two are pretty good. So I think Sean's sharing it, right? Let me just pull it up.
So this is coinmarketcap.com, and then these are the big ones, I guess. They based on size, is it?
Yeah. So typically they are ranked by their market cap. Yeah.
So I must scroll all the way down.
Yeah. Then you can see like there's almost more than 10,000 coins. So yeah.
This one is the cheapest of the cheap.
The trading volume and all that.
So I mean, it's like in stock market, these are the penny stocks, those that you also don't know whether will make it or not. But for them to increase by maybe 100% is higher. Maybe. Okay. So Vanessa has her strategy where if you look at, I'm not saying that this is the coin she look at, but she's actually basing it on potentially when the big coins like the blue chip coins drop, maybe the small cap ones will go up. But it may mean a lot of things, but this is just one indicator. Yeah. Okay. So I continue to keep your questions coming in. I know that we are already like diving pretty deep because I myself I'm learning. Basically, I'm leeching on them for this session. So can you also share with us, right, how you get to actually know this particular whole entire sector of crypto? Rudy, can you share with us, like, how do you get into this? Sorry, before that, sorry, Rudy. There's another question that's a good question. What is altcoin season? Just want to mention what altcoin flyby. Wow, I got a lot of picture in my mind, but probably is wrong one. So what does that mean? Could you enlighten us? Don't shy, please ask. I will help you all ask.
In fact, it's not alt. It's alternate. Yeah, ALT. So anything that is not Bitcoin.
Alternative coins.
Yeah. So and anything not Bitcoin is alternate coin.
There should be a stock investor like odd lots and things like that. So we think about odd. Okay, so alternative coins, anything that's not the big boys, are using stock words. The blue chip is the altcoins. Okay.
I think great. I think the altcoin seasons are over. I mean the ICO days. Yeah.
Wow. Don't talk about that. ICO it's still back a lot of exciting memories. So Rudy, how do you get into this space?
My first interaction was through Bitcoin mining actually. So I was very close to a friend back in office, and then he was saying, hey, you can actually use machines to mine Bitcoin. So we tried and that was really my first interaction. Yeah. Then
when was that?
That was a very long time ago. I think 2000. 2015, around there.
Okay. So you started mining bitcoins, mining coins.
But that was using very very weak computers lah. Not like now where very strong GPUs are involved. At time, just a normal computer can mine already. Yeah. So subsequently, when I joined DBS, right, then because I was with the fintech department, and then we get to see a lot of very interesting, sexy projects, and then a lot of crypto inquiries, whether DBS is going to get involved or not, and all that kind of things. That's the time when we were hosting a lot of like crypto talks. We are engaging a lot of crypto partners also. And then this is the second wave for me to get involved once again with cryptocurrency. Of course, the third wave was time for Plan B, B being blockchain. So I've joined OIO full time, just to go in full scale on this thing. Yeah.
Well, your wave 1, wave 2, wave 3 reminds me of COVID, but it's okay. That's why it's like becoming viral also. Very very
So now
interesting.
Omicron.
Yeah. So what about Leslie? How do you get into this?
Get into crypto, yeah. So it's actually not really interesting, but I can still share. Then maybe I share another story.
Then don't share. Not interested. Okay, Vanessa, how about you? Not interesting, don't share. Don't waste our time lah. No, just kidding. Okay, tell us.
Okay, I actually started, trading or rather investing in stocks. So about more than I think 11, 12 years ago. So but that time I was young. Now still young, but that time even younger. So I didn't have any. Not say any. I have lesser capital at that time, right? So but sometimes go for stock unless you do future and all that. But okay, that's another thing. But sometimes it's quite limited, especially if you do Hong Kong style and SGX, right? You might have to buy one lot. So sometimes it's quite a bit of money. So if you have like few thousand only, or even 10, maybe you can own just a couple. Yeah. So there I get to know crypto. Hey, actually you can buy fraction, which means that
how do you get to know crypto? Like what happened? Did your friend introduce to you? Do you read from somewhere?
Yes. Actually, a friend introduced. He actually made 7 million back then. So I think now maybe 70.
Is he still your friend?
Yeah, he is. Yeah. So
single or married?
I think single.
Hey, this one later. Vanessa, I don't know whether you're.
The last time I saw him, actually not really in contact, but last time I thought I saw him. I'm not sure if it's him. He was in his Ferrari, I think so, open top one, and drive past. I'm not sure.
Should be him.
Look like him. Look like him.
Okay. Later get the number. Okay, then what happened? So you actually got this $7 million guy. Come and give you crypto tips. Then.
So then I thought, okay, I should start looking into it. Yeah. So that's how we actually started.
Not bad, more exciting than the DBS story, the wave 1, wave 2, wave 3. just joking. How about Vanessa? Just kidding. Vanessa, how about yourself? How do you get into crypto?
For me personally, I heard it when I was 18 years old. So at a point of time, money.
Last year.
Yeah. Last year, no. Quite a long time back. Then after that, I actually went for a competition and I kind of won like 20,000. Yeah. So at that point of time, I still remember Bitcoin was already going up very high. So it was really at the all-time high. And I was like discussing with my mom, like, Mom, should I just throw in the 20,000? I really think it's the next big thing. And then she was like, you sure you want to put everything in? I was like, I just YOLO lah, just throw it in. And I guess I made the right choice lah. It never touched that moment where I first bought it ever.
Hey, my friends, this is a very bad investment advice, but I
mean,
no.
I must say, it took a lot of courage, but I actually do know that crypto is gonna be the next big thing because I've been hearing it for years. It's just that I think I was like a lot of investors back then. I was very afraid of the fluctuation. When I heard it was all-time high, the next thing I know it was all-time low, and I'm just like, can I really bear this fluctuation or not? And
that's a good question.
So then I realized one thing, that when you buy into a project, especially crypto, it's really the utilities and like where is it going to be used at.
Right.
Yeah.
So what do you find out about Bitcoins? Your thought process. Well, back then you were 18 years old, you won $20,000. It is probably like, I'm assuming $20,000 is quite a lot of money to you. It's not like I just go and test, right? So you have the kind of conviction to put everything in. Sorry?
I won at 22, not 18, 22.
Oh, 22. Okay. 22. 18 years old, you heard of Bitcoin. You hear until 22, 4 years later, you won the competition. Okay, then after that, you said you talk about the utility and also like the adoption. So what do you find out back then at 22 that gives you the conviction to put all $20,000 in?
I think the usage law, like I do realize that our fiat currency is currently failing us sadly, slowly but sadly. Yeah,
Really,
and
meh?
like I do
So you
think so.
you take Singapore dollars, go and buy things nobody accept now. What do you mean
People
failing us?
will lah. But the thing is, with inflation and everything, your money will just keep decreasing, ma. So that's the very sad part of it. Yeah. So if I put 20,000 now in my bank, rather than putting it into a cryptocurrency, let's say Bitcoin, my Bitcoin is more than what I have 2 years ago. Yeah. So I think my
Okay.
thought process was like, I do think that this is the next up and coming currency. And fiat
Right.
used to be backed by gold, right?
Uh-huh.
But slowly as it goes, fiat is now based on just our trust that it holds its value. So I believe that with that idea of fiat will slowly now move into the digital currency and digital world. Because you see, like even our payments, we don't even need to bring cash. We just bring our phone, we can just tap and pay.
Yeah.
Everything is very digitalized right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I guess this is actually a mark of a very strong investor where you have an investment thesis. A lot of times when I hear people, hey, why you go and buy Bitcoin? Why you go and buy this stock? Usually it's because that their friend tell them, or let's say they drive, they were in a Grab taxi, then the uncle tell them. So if you base it on someone else's logic without having a certain thesis, a reason why it's supposed to succeed, right? Then you are a lousy investor. Now, if you have a thesis and the thesis fail, it goes against you. That's even better. So if you listen to a friend and then you make money versus you go and do your own study and then you lose money. Actually think about it, which one is a better experience, right? It's actually when you actually study and you learn something from it. Because unless your friend will be there we must get the $7 million guy, their phone number, then after that, then the rest only to study already. Okay, but so this is also the mindset of an investor. So thanks for sharing your stories. All you're very successful crypto investor. Now, I'm going to just run through some of the other questions and feel free to also ask each other questions. Okay. So one question that really jump out at me is by Luz Tan, correct? Do I pronounce it correctly? So I thought it's a very brilliant question. Shows a lot of thinking behind it. So he said one thing I cannot understand is that if the price keeps going up because of the utilization. Okay. Now, so for example, Ethereum, correct? Ethereum, the technology is good. That's why Ether, by the way, Ethereum is not the coin. Ether is the coin. The Ether's price goes up. As it goes, because more people use, the price goes up. But when it goes up, right, it becomes expensive to use. Right. Then after that, because then people will not use and then the price goes down. It makes sense. What do you think of this particular thought process? Makes sense, no? So that's why a lot of people now going to Soluna and things like that, correct? Because Ethereum is so expensive. Any thoughts? Brilliant question.
No, I think that is a very valid question, but it's like not everything actually pertains to driving the Ether price up, right? I mean, adoption, when you need to do it, you need to do it. But obviously, Sean, you're correct, lah. I mean, there's alternative, like for example, right, layer 2 solutions. So so Ether, right, is a public chain that a lot of people recognize. So,
Yeah.
but then because the price is expensive, you don't actually broadcast everything onto that public blockchain. It really don't make sense. But layer 2, what layer 2 does is, what you can do is, say, for example, you run a business that do a lot of transactions.
Okay.
So you don't have to broadcast every transaction when there is one. What you can do is you can broadcast your transaction on layer 2. Say you got 500 transactions. You accumulate until 500 transactions, then you do one broadcast onto the public chain.
Wow,
right? Then you just pay one-time gas fees. Yeah. So that's how you can actually reduce your per transaction gas fees. You see, you can opt for a layer 2 solution. So to me as a business owner, right, it's still the same. I still get the work done, right? I still can broadcast my ledger, right, of 500 or 1,000 or 5,000 transactions onto the public chain, right?
Wow.
But I pay one-time gas fees. So it doesn't really matter. Yeah. So actually, there's a lot of a solution, a lot of workaround. Even for Polkadot, right? Polkadot also, what Polkadot really want to solve is to have cross-chain ability, the interoperability to let chain talk to one another, because Ethereum doesn't talk to people. So then Polkadot came around. So there's a lot of solutions. I think to this question, right, is about maturity of the ecosystem. It takes time. I mean, guys, come on, this is only how many years old, right? Compared to motor vehicles, industrialization, and so on. I mean, blockchain and all is about 15 years old. Yeah, so it takes a while. It takes a while for all this to come together and create a full solution, a full ecosystem, I guess. Yeah.
But it's also a balancing effect, right? Okay, so again, when we talk about gas fee, can anyone explain to us what is gas fee? Like every time you break the wind, you let out gas, you have to pay a fee. How do you explain gas fee to someone who doesn't understand blockchain? Yeah.
Should I jump or the principle of CryptoLearn SG?
Or Tiara investor can enlighten us. What's gas fee? Hey.
Okay, I volunteer. So
give us the correct answer, yeah.
Okay, so like car, right? When car needs to get from point A to point B, what does the car need? Gas, right?
Yes.
Now can use electric lah. Why you so old school one? Now electric vehicle.
Yeah.
Okay, got it. So gas. then.
So same thing like with smart contract, right? You want a smart contract to perform a certain task. So you get from one state to the other state. To pay for that transition, right? You need Ether, and that's why they call it gas fees, lah. Actually,
what is gas fee? Let's say
the other point.
Is it okay? Because like last time we exchanged money from Singapore dollars to USD, there's the bid-ask spread, right? There's a spread. Is it something similar, or is it a transaction fee? Is it a brokerage fee? Who gets the gas fee is paid to who? Is it paid to the developer or who?
No, the gas fees is paid for the smart contract. Okay.
Paid to who?
You remember this thing called
can
mining?
I make gas fee or not? Can I get gas fee?
Can. Mining, through mining. So basically, when you do a transaction, right, somebody has to validate that the ledger is valid, right?
Oh, okay.
So people won't do things for free, ma. You must pay some fees, ma.
Understand already. So it's okay lah. Basically, it's paying someone to deliver the contract lah. So it's like I buy Grab food, then I pay the delivery fee lah. So in what you're saying is when you're hungry, don't buy first. You wait until very hungry, you order a lot of food. Then instead of order one burger, you order 10 burger lah. That was one time you only pay one delivery fee. Something like that, right?
Yes.
With this kind of people like
good analogy.
I don't know whether it makes sense. Okay.
You must be hungry, no?
No, not really. Okay, but I always feel very sad for the Grab guy lah. Have people like you always like okay. So okay. But I think it makes sense. By the way, please feel free to jump in any point in time because just now the question again, I think it's very valid. Again, I'm not very in tune or I don't have a lot of experience with crypto. But as an economics student, right, last time or I studied economics, right, this is what happened to like countries' currency. So, example, let's say a certain currency in a country is cheap, okay, or let's say a certain country is booming. Let's say which country is booming? Okay, you can say China, you can say India, quite a number of countries booming, or even Vietnam. There's a lot of production, a lot of manufacturing. They export a lot of things, and because a lot of people want their products or people want things made in China, right? They want to have China services. They need to pay renminbi. So they have to go and buy renminbi to pay the China company. Does it make sense? But when more and more people actually buy renminbi, right, the renminbi increases. I mean, the valuation increase, everybody demand. And then, right, people say, well, now very expensive. And because it's very expensive, right, people will start to pull back or maybe not so competitive anymore. That's why the country's government, right, they will try to make their currency competitive and don't fluctuate so much. However, in the blockchain world, right, there's no government one. Don't have, right? But right, there's what people like Bo Zheng Hu. So they like to let the free market actually balance things out. But I think there is a certain impact one. So that's where there's like what you mentioned, alternative development where people try to fight Ether. In fact, how Ethereum came about is they say, hey, Bitcoin very expensive, we come out with a new one. Now they become the expensive one. Then the new one always come out and try to fight them. So it will be ongoing one, guys. Ongoing one. Any comments on that? Anyone?
Yeah.
Actually,
maybe I just
just a quick one. Just one quick one. Yeah, and also support what Vanessa said about inflation, which is actually at code level, right, guys? Bitcoin is meant to be hyper efficient, non-hyperinflationary. So at code level. So basically,
non-hyperinflationary. You wait.
At code level.
I'm going to check Google what it means first. Okay, yeah, continue.
Okay, so, Leslie.
Hey, really, if I don't know, I just ask.
Okay, so in my opinion, because I think someone mentioned because there's so many other projects that's trying to, and Sean mentioned to fight the Ethereum and all that. But you know why Ethereum still holds the number one spot in terms of the smart contract, although it's expensive. Okay, it's a little bit like when we take SIA plane, right? It's actually more expensive. And why my friend bought Ferrari while any car can bring him point A to point B.
Yeah.
I think one of the reasons is because of his high gas fee, right? Then more actually, if you think a more legit project actually is built on Ethereum, compared to a lot of other chain that you can pay 10 cents for a gas fee. Then it actually sort of, a lot of scam are built on all this, and it actually gives a bad name. Not saying that that their chain is not good, but but I think that Ethereum still hold that reputation because of the high gas fee. So it may not necessarily be a bad thing, but if you are just investing a retail investor, then it may not be viable for you to actually do all these transactions on Ethereum chain, because it may eat up like 10% of your of your capital already before you even start investing.
Got it. So as a business person, you should still go for the reputable one to build your businesses and your technology on top. As an investor, that's where you can actually leverage on that, right?
So because if you look at it, actually a lot of institutional investors are actually in the Ethereum chain compared to the other. So because to them it's okay, I put in 1 million, the gas fee is always the same, right? It's just like the Grab, right? You can order then 10 food, but it's still $20. So you put in 1 million, okay, $50 gas fee, that's fine. But we put in $500, wow, $50 gas fee, maybe not. Let's find a project.
Interesting. What's your perception, Vanessa, on Ethereum, and is that one of the crypto that you have a lot of faith in? What do you think?
Actually, I have a lot of faith in Ethereum somehow. More faith in Ethereum than BTC.
Why?
Than Bitcoin.
Why?
Because I think for Ethereum, there is utility to it. So for Bitcoin, people are seeing it as digital gold. So like I say, gold these days, you only can buy and sell and it holds its value. But for Ethereum, not only is it that, but on top of that, you can create smart contracts and create many things like NFT and everything on that smart chain itself. So there's more utility to it. So if you compare both of them, right, obviously I would personally go for utility, because utility is something that people will keep using. And on top of that, Ethereum is going towards a proof of staking. So proof of staking is something whereby you park your money there. And so you don't need to use so much energy to try to mine the coins and everything, which I think is a great concept that they are trying to, maneuver over.
Proof of staking, park your money. Okay, again, I'm using a lot of energy to understand. So my brain, the CPU power a little bit low. Again, I go back to the first point where you feel that Ethereum there's more usage. Now, actually, I have a friend who spoke to me today. His name is Rajvin. So he mentioned that probably he also, I mean, the saying is like Bitcoin is like gold, and the usage of gold is mainly just to store value, just to say, hey, I got gold. I don't know whether you all watch Money Heist. Do you all watch Money Heist?
No, sadly.
Okay, basically they try to steal gold. They try to steal gold, and then in the end they manage to steal the gold from the whole country, and then they return fake gold to the country. When they return fake gold, the country just keep quiet and then let them go. So I mean, basically, in the end, whether you got the gold inside your country, the valve, the bank or not, sorry if I have any spoiler, don't kill me. Okay, but anyway, gold, you will not use gold for transaction one. It's just a proof of a wealth, right? So this is what maybe Bitcoin is used for. You don't really use Bitcoin to transact, but it's actually a preservation of wealth. Where else Ethereum is more like silver. There's real use cases for it. People use silver to do things. And then there's where, I mean, both of them are sort of like different asset classes. Similar asset classes, but different, I would say, categories. What do you think about this particular analogy?
I think it's fantastic. I think it's great because, like, even in the commodities world, they were saying that silver will one day catch up to the gold price, because silver may one day be mine finished also, and we are using silver in a faster rate as compared to gold.
So one day silver will be more valuable than gold.
Yeah.
Then all the Olympic gold medalists, then they look at their gold medal. It's like, now stupid already, because now the silver medal will be actually the winner, then the gold will be the second, something like that.
In years to come,
confusing, very confusing. Okay, then that's your tiara, made of diamond. That one no need worry.
My tiara plastic only.
Okay, don't say too loud. Okay. So okay, interesting. Let's see what other more logical and relevant questions they have, rather than we talk all this. Okay. So any other things that they were asking? I thought it's very interesting. The
No, in
conversation so
fact, I
far.
have a few questions, right? Like,
Yeah,
okay, let's say, well, I mean, gold traditionally is what our parents, grandparents, they love, right? They store all of it, right? But I have
Yeah.
a first question, right? So,
Yeah.
Sean, if somebody bring gold to you, right, how do you know the gold is real or fake one?
I use fire lah. You know, Chinese got this the go or I bite lor.
Yeah.
Yeah. Actually, I don't know lah. Frankly, I don't know. I watched the movie lah. That's how they do it lah. Then what will you do?
Neither do many of us, especially in current, day and time, right? We don't transact, we don't touch gold, we don't deal with gold, to the point where we actually lose the ability to know how to evaluate gold. So if people bring gold, right, you also don't know how to turn to derive the value, right? But that's why the question around whether if crypto, right, is the new gold, because blockchain don't lie, right? So what is the value on the blockchain and all that is already there. So that's easier for us, like in terms of validation. I mean, it's easier access. I mean, you give me gold, I really do not know how to value it. I don't know how to give you a price. But you tell me Bitcoin now, if I have 30%, I buy from you.
I don't know how often that happens from you lah. So people actually come to you and then give you like gold, like, and then you
No,
like,
that's the point. That's the thing. Nobody does that, right? But there are people who say, "Hey, you want to take some Bitcoin off my hand or not?" There is. Then I'll ask how much percent discount you give me. If you give me 15%, 20%, I don't mind lah. I mean, I buy some over from you lah. Yeah.
Can I do that?
Can.
Okay,
Then you just transfer from your wallet to my wallet. No? I just pay you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
please don't let MAS know. Yeah.
Well, this one broadcast one. Don't let MAS know.
Oh no!
Why cannot? Okay, this one. Okay, so quite a number of questions coming in. Tesla, Dogecoin. Okay, so again, every coin there's a certain I would say certain reason why the coin exists. Okay, and then if let's say the reason for the coin is sort of fulfilled, people actually so they say, oh, like you can use Bitcoin. Okay, maybe Bitcoin is not the best I would say example right now. Is there any coins that has been like very widely used based on your experiences? Like it's really in use based on what they say it's used for? Maybe Ethereum is the best, right? So far. Any
I
coins?
think Bitcoin. Okay, so I mean, this is a bit of my own thought.
Sure.
Bitcoin actually gained a lot of popularity because of the dark web, right? So I'm not too sure whether you guys know about dark web. So whatever we see, in proper name, in Google and all that, that's the tip of the iceberg, right? Under the iceberg is all those codes that you put in to go into this, very private, privileged web, they call it dark web. But basically, a lot of bad things happen in the dark web, from stolen credit cards to weapons to drugs and all that. So there's a lot of money being transacted there. I mean, so Bitcoin is one of the heavily used currency in the trillions. Yeah.
By mafias.
Nearly mafias and like all the vices. Yeah.
And we don't see the world becoming a place without mafia, so therefore Bitcoin will be there. Hey, so you
That's not the validation. That's not the validation point. You ask me where is Bitcoin being used, I tell you where it's being used.
No, I say which coin got used. So Bitcoin is used for mafia and is being used by mafia, therefore Bitcoin's value go up. So one day no more mafia, then no more Bitcoin. Like no need Bitcoin already.
Essentially Bitcoin was invented to solve trust issue, right? So between mafias and mafia also got trust issue. Just kidding.
How do you know? You sound experienced.
So I actually do that. So the crypto thing is actually a cover. Okay. So when we talk about let's because when you asked that question just now, right? So there's actually a coin called VeChain.
VeChain. Okay.
It's actually used in supply chain. So I think that one more people can understand the use case, okay? Because let's assuming I'm not a supply chain person, so if any incorrect,
sure. The user disclaimer. Okay, can.
Just an example, so let's say you were to send frozen meat from Europe to Singapore, and then there's a transit maybe in where is it in the middle? Let's say in Dubai. Okay, let's say Dubai. Okay, so it reaches Singapore and then the meat is actually spoiled, or goes back. Yeah. So you actually don't know who who actually spoiled the meat? Was it right from the beginning, or actually in the middle, or when it reaches Singapore, then it's too hot, or whatever,
Which
you don't know
which
who's
delivery service you use? Not FedEx lah, confirm. Not FedEx lah. Okay. Then
So for if it's recorded, if it can be
Yeah.
recorded on a blockchain, okay. So for
Uh-huh.
using the VeChain, right? So you actually can track exactly when. Like let's say for example, in order for the meat to stay fresh, it has to stay minus 20 degree, for example. So
Okay.
at which point it did not stay at minus 20 degree, then it's recorded in the blockchain. It dropped to minus 15 only in
How
Dubai,
the
for
blockchain record?
example.
How did the blockchain record?
RFID or something like that, things like that.
So it's using a technology to measure that 20 degree all the way track from Europe to Singapore and see at which point in time the temperature drop.
Yeah, correct. Just
so
an
it's like-
example. Of course, there's other supply chain. You send different things, from overseas. Yeah, but I think if we talk about use case that is being already used in the
VeChain.
so-called what you call normal world, if you like. Yeah, and I think this is one example.
So I mean, by the way, at the end of this whole entire sharing, right? I think the OIO has actually prepared a list of 7 coins. Is it?
Yes.
Can share with us a little bit. Yeah, there's a gift for you guys. For those who stay until the end, do help us share with your friends. They do actually prepare a small gift for you guys, right, to get you started in crypto. Because we do know that if you are like me, who is pretending to be smart but don't know anything about crypto, correct? So we need some place for us to start our research. So they actually have some ideas for you to actually look at. There will be a PDF file, a checklist for you guys to look at. So please stay to the end. We are almost actually time really flies past when we actually share all these. So do ask questions as well. And yeah, do you have any other?
Do like us at OIO Blockchain Facebook page.
So for those who have not
maybe
visited
Leslie
the
can
page,
share the Facebook page link.
correct.
Yes,
Share the page link so that they can find out more, because after this session, we realized that actually we got a lot to discuss, but 1 hour is almost up. Are y'all enjoying this so far? Are y'all learning something? If you are, can y'all please let us know in the comment below? Just help us type yes or just type thanks, Sean. No, thanks to everyone. And do let us know whether you want more of this, because I think this first session is really just to get to know each other and also talk about a bit of our background, talking about the potential of crypto being a validated goal where people are recognizing it. And the next portion, right? Maybe the next time we come together, we can talk about how, as an investor, we can start analyzing things, which website to go through step by step. And I'll be asking all the dumb questions again because I'm not really a strong crypto investor. Okay, so people say yes, thanks. Definitely fun session. There are so many coins in the market. Then they'll become similar. Okay, I mean, there's a lot of very valid questions. I don't think we are able to answer all of them in one session. So do follow OIO. Okay, so yeah. Any other questions that you want to actually address? Because I think there's so many, Yep. Can we send our crypto questions on OIO FB message? Maybe if y'all go to OIO, y'all do post, right? If we go to the page, y'all can actually ask the questions in the comments now. A bit easier. If they check the message one by one,
you guys can ask us questions. We're gonna post content, some market trends, updates, some latest development. I saw some question on Ethereum 2.0. We're happy to share a little bit on
curious.
that. Yeah,
Very
and
curious.
sometimes we do talks about staking, different opportunities. We also share it on the website. On the Facebook page. Yeah.
All right. So what is OIO? Hey, this one is a very important question now. So maybe we get Rudy to answer this.
I just started with open input output. So it's a very geeky thing with hash with the 36 SHR. So SHA, sorry. So that's a blockchain thing. So open input output is a blockchain thing. Open is like we just wanted to have that culture as part of being very open minded, embracing innovation and all. So that's how we came up with the name. Yeah.
Okay, so OIO is actually a listed company. That's where you guys can really go to the page and follow them, and that's where we will be discussing more. And you also can also follow Vanessa. So for those who haven't followed Vanessa, just type Vanessa Tiara Tay. Nobody else in the world actually give yourself such a long name with a middle name called Tiara. Don't have one. So you all type the name, you all will see her. She have a Telegram group talking about crypto. That's where you can follow her as well. If you talk about having a group to bounce ideas, I think you'll be quite a good, interesting group to be in. And that's where she also will be like announcing and telling you guys when will be our next
Correct.
series. So
Yeah.
so guys, how do we want to do a series on this?
Sure, it's very fast and fun, I would say.
Yeah, it's a bit too fast. Maybe 4 people. I don't know whether too many of us, and I feel like I'm the one who is the most not knowing what's happening one. So
Boleh. I think it's quite good
Yeah.
but I think one point about you is you're very good at summarizing all our ideas in simpler terms. So we're very appreciative of that.
Okay, thanks. Because this is what you do when you cannot contribute in other ways. You have to contribute in the noob way. Okay. okay. Okay, maybe just before we end this whole thing out. Wow, there's really a lot of question about Ether 2.0, which is something I'm also very interested in. Talking about really valuation of crypto from a value investor's point of view. Actually, I do have some perspective also. The next time maybe we can share. So we will actually work on a 3 parts, like a certain series to actually work on to come up with a more systematic way. Because this first round is to see whether people are interested. By the way, you're interested doesn't mean they are interested to come back. So Leslie, Rudy, Vanessa, will you guys actually be interested to actually continue to discuss this?
Yes, of course.
Yes,
so Vanessa is in.
definitely. Yeah.
Sure, man.
Yeah.
If people want to learn, happy to give.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, to be
It's
fair,
fun.
we see a lot of questions, but we really cannot answer all of them now, because if not, it will be take 2-3 hours. But we would really like to continue the conversation. I think we asked about NFT as well, and I think
I
that
love
is also an interesting topic. And
That one
Yeah.
can talk non-stop.
Yeah.
Hey, so guys, continue to ask your questions, and don't worry if you're asking questions that you think is very new and things like that, because a lot of us, we are also, me, one out of 4 of us, 25% of us, we also don't know quite a lot of things. So continue to ask questions. If we are not able to answer, right, we will look through your question and we'll come up with a few other series to actually answer them. Now, finally, before we end this thing, we also have a gift for them, correct? So Leslie, are we able to pass them the gift?
Yep. So it will be in the comment. So look out for a comment. So it's actually 7 great coins to look at in 2022. Yeah.
To
so
look at,
especially, yeah, to
Look for
buy.
what? Is it? Serious?
Yeah,
Hey, you give this kind of recommendation now.
Yes.
Crypto Learn SG founder very daring.
Your disclaimer. So it's prepared by OIO Singapore lah. So not crypto.
So that's why Adias asked any airdrops, that will be the airdrop, man.
Wow.
Okay, so please do look at the comments below. I think Leslie just posted the link. Okay, and there's really a lot to discuss. Really enjoy ourselves tonight. Really want to thank all of you guys for joining us. It's only the tip of the iceberg, like as Rudy mentioned. Really, this is the beginning of a whole journey together. I think, especially in Asia, like in Singapore, in Malaysia, wherever you are from, right? I think a lot of us, we are not very educated in this, but it is coming. Regardless whether we like it or not, whether you think it is right, it is real, it's not real, you got to actually be prepared for that. So really want to thank all of us again tonight for joining us. We will be ending this live soon, and do download the gifts, do follow OIO, do follow Vanessa, and that's where you continue to learn and become a steady crypto investor. Okay, Ken?
Yeah.
Okay, keep the questions coming in, and we will see you guys soon. All right, good night. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Yes, good night.